hear the expression, God, I wonder what these streets would say if they could talk. Sarasota Street Talk is making the streets talk, and we're recording what they're saying. So that, to me, that is what Sarasota Street Talk is all about.
Sarasota Street Talk is to introduce people of the surroundings.
We're literally right now, we're downtown Sarasota, and we hear people all around us telling different stories. Those are the streets talking.
Scotty, how you doing? Whoops, I got to turn on that.
Whoa.
Oh, hey, some sound.
Might want to have something coming out of those speakers.
Hey, do you want to come close to me like you like me or something?
Oh, that's right.
Come on, because we're doing it.
We have a camera now.
Yeah, so, the fact that we're live.
Act like you like each other.
Act like you like me. All right, so the fact that we're live, and, there's always something that happens, but, we just roll with it. So we normally have two cameras, but right now we're going to go ahead and just do the one, and we're going to flip back to our guest. And who wants to see us anyway?
I was going to say, mostly on them, please.
It really doesn't matter,
yes.
Okay, because they want to hear the information. So
anyways, you are?
My name is Mark Klecka. I am a realtor at Caldwell Banker here downtown. My partner in crime to my left, your right, is?
Scott Maloff, mortgage broker at Summit Lending Solutions, and as well as a realtor at White Sands Realty.
Yep.
And together we are...
Sarasota Street Talk. Yes,
yeah, that was
it gets
a little below average, maybe average.
It gets better as the time goes on, I think. So we want to thank, obviously Gator Club every time and A. Parker's Books here, who allow us to graciously be out here and do this every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And most shows are, we have guests that come on. A lot of this is about, the whole tagline is if, the streets of Sarasota could talk, what would they say? And everybody here are the streets of Sarasota. So we really do welcome people to come up and just tell us about, where you're from, what you're doing here. I don't mean like what you're doing.
How much do you love it?
What
are you doing
right now?
Here?
No, like
how much you love Sarasota?
How much you love, or how long you lived here, stuff like that. We met amazing people just by sitting down. You'd never know. But then we also have guests that come on here too. So that would be a good segue here to our first guest here. Oh, and the nature. I just want to mention kind of the nature of the show. So we do a lot of like entertainment and what's live music around town and things like that and what's going on.
And some of the guests will be like singers and artists and business owners.
Mm-hmm. Now
but today's a little different.
In light of recent occurrences, and obviously I'm speaking about the storms and things that have gone through, and then things that are still kind of burgeoning out there in the Gulf right now. I thought it applicable that we have a show that has experts here to tell us kind of where to go for resources, what to do. Just gives out some information because I think people are starving right now. They're so shocked by what's happened, like in Siesta and Longboat and Lido and all that people can need some good direction right now. So I thought it'd be great to have some people that are experts in their fields to help share that. So I'm talking too much. So
wow, shocker.
I know, wow. Who would have thought about that? Yeah, that's the ADD kicking in.
No.
All right, so we're going to
let our
around.
guest introduce herself.
Yep, and we're going to flip around, and our guest, and if you please introduce yourself, and we will just chat like we're all pals because we are.
Sounds good to me. Thank you and good morning. So thank you, Mark. Thank you, Scott. My name is Heather Hackett, and I have a nonprofit called Local Relief. But more than that, I have lived in Sarasota 20 years. It is definitely home. And that's really where the idea for Local Relief came about, which I can tell you guys later. But I just want to say, again, thank you so much, and good morning.
No, good morning. Thank you for being on the show here. So I can tell you, a little background story about how I met Heather. So Teresa, my wife, is in emergency management with the state of Florida, and she came to me a few months ago. And I'm not sure how she met you, but she's like, oh my God, I met this woman, and she does this thing, and she's so about helping. Like Teresa.
Right.
And she's like, she's got this app, and it's doing all the things that like we don't, it's not, it's like the one of a kind. Like people, it's not out there. Like you can put directly people to, and you
like
got to meet her.
Does it all.
It does
right?
yeah. And we so need this, and you got to talk to her, and she's basically your biggest fan. She really is.
I love that.
She really is. And she's out right now getting some ice for our cold plunge.
Yes,
but that's the background story about how you came up to, and
Yes.
now it just becomes applicable with what's happening now. So thank you for being on.
So tell us,
absolutely, and
tell us what it's an app,
yes,
and what
yes.
it does.
So Local Relief, it really came up. Were you guys here in 2017 with Irma?
Oh yeah,
Mark
I've been here about a 92
67 years?
About 92
67,
years. Yeah.
68
I'm
years.
here-
You
I got
look
here
great for
1980.
92.
I got here 1980.
Okay.
I've been here
no,
for a while.
So I realized during Irma just how unorganized disasters were from a communication standpoint and from a local, to where I was trying to find information and I couldn't find it and I was frustrated. And I did sporting event management way back then. So I did like the Sarasota tennis tournament, the Sarasota music half, and in managing those, I kind of looked at the storm and thought, all right, if I'm going to manage this sucker, what would I do? So I literally just started brainstorming of how I would manage it. Again, I'm looking at the local standpoint. I'm not looking at top down. I'm looking at local bottom out, going, how do I find a generator? How do I find information that's relevant to me?
And that's what's so needed.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
I think people talk about, and that's why we have with Liz Alpert, our mayor, coming on after you.
That's fantastic.
To get the city standpoint of like what are you doing now and what's going to happen to prevent it in the future. But from a local level, like from a bare grassroots level,
Right.
that's where you guys are
Right.
at. Right.
And really,
Well, you're seeing it from the resident point of view.
So,
I am the victim
100%.
of the storm.
Yeah. So I look at it from a local standpoint where can I go? Where is my one-stop shop for all of this information? Because to try to pick it from all of these places, to try to find this group on social media, to try to find this site on the government site, to try to find all of these resources is a nightmare. And from someone that's pretty good at finding resources, and for me to not be able to find them, I'm going, if I can't, nobody else can either.
Right.
So it really was just, my whole goal is to be that one big platform where I can funnel everyone in and distribute them wherever they need to go. So if they want to find a nonprofit that's local with boots on the ground, cool, we got you. If you want to find government information of, hey, what's going on in my town, what's the trash pickup dates, what's all that stuff, okay, we got the government sites. And then again, from a local standpoint, if I want to go to Sarasota, either city or county, and say, hey, where's tarps? Where's gas? Is the bridge closed? Is what's going on? Like, what's
That's
the information
amazing.
hyper local to me? And at the same time, if I am on the ground and I'm finding this information and saying, hey, don't go here, don't go there, this is flooded, this tree just fell down, I can post on there and share the information as well. So it's really a place where neighbors can truly help neighbors and and put all of that information together.
Right,
so
right.
that's the goal.
And so the app, there's links on the app.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's
correct.
absolutely amazing because right now, so I run a group called I Love Downtown Sarasota. It's a group, not a page. Please join. And it's so many people. You get people that are like contacting you saying, hey, I would like to help. And then you've got other references. I guess what I'm trying to get to is there's so many things coming at so many different ways. Like, we want to help. Here's how to help. This is where you go. Where do you go? And so you're trying to match somebody with something else, whereas it seems like it's a one-stop place.
Correct.
If you know about this, and then everything is right at your fingertips is what you need. Like, who can I go to help? Who needs the help? Hey, I need the help. Everything right there, correct?
Yep, that's the goal, and that's the app.
I'm loading the
absolutely.
app right now.
Okay, good. It's on localrelief.com. So we went to the site, and we know you can get the app there, both in Android and iOS versions.
Yep.
And so, what more is there to add to it? I mean, is there always a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or are you continually adding to it? Or?
Oh, constantly. It's never going to be done. It's never
work
going to
in
be done.
progress,
And even now, because I live in Florida and, I've saturated Florida, I love Florida, we've really focused on that first, thinking, okay, let's get ready for storm season. And, and we were available for Debbie and learned a lot in Debbie. And then at the same time, we're going, okay, let's get ready for Helene. Let's make sure we have all these, resources here in Florida. Did not expect the extent of the damage in Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee.
Right.
So I've actually been on the phone more with those states and locals there, than anything, because it's people that are saying, hey, we need a platform. We need something that we can either send our residents, send our communities, send people to know it's like that one-stop shop hub. Because it's a nightmare to try to find information, especially now there's so many mainstream social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, cool, find a Sarasota group. All right, are you talking about on Instagram, on Facebook, on where is that? Where
And is it true?
it's, oh my gosh, it's so difficult.
You think that everything out there is the truth. So for anybody walking by right now, we're speaking with Heather Hackett. She is the founder of Local Relief Inc., which puts out a Local Relief app. There's an all-inclusive app that brings all people together, all resources together, And we're doing this primarily because of the situation that's happened here with Helene and everybody in need right now. So, again, thank you so much for coming on here. We're not done.
Absolutely.
Doing like
Oh,
a
no,
shout out so people know who we're talking
finish
to
that.
right now.
Well, the
right?
other part too is I want to make sure to give valuable information. So yeah, absolutely. I was hoping we weren't done.
So also too, somebody wants to help you. Let's say,
Yes.
how can they help you? Like, is
Yeah.
there? Do you have people that come on in some, not necessarily with the app, but
As far as with me,
you,
we have the
or-
developer, and then I have one more contracted person that I use, and he's like the one-man band. My husband, who's here, I put him to work. I told him we got stuff to do today. He is sports medicine owner / techie.
Yeah.
So literally, I mean, I
really
would put my
didn't-
dog to work if I could.
Yeah.
But anybody that wants to help me, the difference is if people want to volunteer and help with boots on the ground, I can tell them where to go.
Yes.
I'm not boots on the ground. I'm eye in the sky.
Right.
So I did a post last night. If someone wants to volunteer and if they want to help from the comfort of their home or their couch, you can help me. So I need people to research resources. That was a tough one.
Yeah,
and
say that five. I couldn't
find
do that.
information that's legit. And I tell people, when you find a resource, call it, vet it, make sure it's legit, and then either send it to me or post it on the app or whatever. So I'm looking for more information that way. Like, I want to know who needs volunteers, who has food distributions, where are the shelters,
Okay,
what's
so-
going on.
because you
in
can't
those
know all
areas.
that.
So,
You rely
correct.
on other people to
I
give you
tried
that information.
really, really hard.
Yes.
It's not happening.
You cannot know it.
So,
Exactly.
so those that
No
have
way.
the resources to go ahead, that you could tell people who need it.
Correct.
And then the people who need it then come to you and go, oh, look at this one stop for all the resources where I can get water, where I can get
Exactly.
vacuums and shop vacs and all the food, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's where like the hyper local information, really comes in and is really handy. And when this is as big as your like next door platform or whatever platform, and people know about it, that's not going to be an issue. You're going to have more, a ton of information, again, hyper local. But for right now, I need to really like fish that out and find it and then post it and share it.
Okay.
So
All right.
how do you get the word out to people?
Okay, Tisha just pulled up, so I'm going to jump out for
Oh,
a
get the
second.
ice?
Help her
Okay.
get the ice out of there.
How do you get the word out about the app? Like, I didn't know about the app
Every
until
way you
just
could
now.
possibly think.
Word of mouth.
The big thing is word of mouth.
I think
social
maybe
media.
social Facebook. Like, everybody should just
Yeah.
put it on.
It's-
That know of this app should just put on their own Facebook. Hey, you need to have this app. if you're
100%.
in
Yeah,
Sarasota or
100%.
the area,
And it's
Florida.
going to be the communities. It's going to be locals helping locals that really gets this word out.
Right.
That's who it benefits. That's who it's for. So it really is going to be like a bottom out approach as opposed to like top down.
Right.
Now also we're looking for business partners. So if businesses want to, help us, please. We're definitely looking for that. Again, we're 100% nonprofit.
Okay.
So they donate to us. We showcase them in the app. So we do have that capability as well. But our whole goal is to really get... Hi. Good to see you. So our whole goal is to really get that word out, and make sure people, just at least know about it, download it, have it on your phone. And then, hence if a disaster comes, you're ready and you already have it.
So if a business donates financially,
Correct.
that helps you improve what you're doing, the
Yeah,
app and
yeah.
whatnot. Do you also distribute some of that?
Yeah,
I imagine,
yeah, absolutely. At this
to some of
point-
those organizations that you have on your app.
Yeah, at this
Okay.
point, the biggest donors to the app you're actually looking at between me and my husband.
Okay.
We're at a point where we can't really do that anymore.
Right.
We're
No.
tapped. So at this point, yes, anybody that donates funds,
Obviously,
I-
it costs money to do what you're doing,
100%.
and you're not making money with it, so you need the
Correct.
donations.
Correct. So donations help there.
How
and then,
can they
yes,
donate?
anything.
sorry.
localrelief.com. Go to localrelief.com.
Go to
Very
your,
easy.
your website. All right.
Yep. Everything is there. And even if you want to partner, go there. Everything is there. But the big thing, too, is to answer your question, yes, we also donate to people that are in need, but we donate to nonprofits.
Right.
So I'm not going to give, if Bob walks by and he needs money for a roof, I'm not going to give it to him. But if he's working with a nonprofit, I can donate to the nonprofit to vet him and assist.
Right.
Like, I don't do the actual vetting, but I will help. If there's organizations with boots on the ground, those are ideally who we give funds to.
Yeah.
It could be a kids softball league. It could be a whatever. But we give to vetted organizations rather than individuals.
Perfect. Yeah. Let's see what else we had here. I don't know if Mark had a few other questions. Are you, and maybe this is I'm sure you're knowledgeable of this.
Sure.
What are you seeing? What are you preparing? What are you telling people now based on 3 days ahead?
Sure.
Because I'm following Mike's weather page and I'm following Dennis Phillips or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of newer.
Yeah.
I've only been here a couple years. And so I got here right before Ian. So
Oh,
I've seen
lucky
Ian,
you.
I've seen Idalia, I've seen Debbie, and I've seen Helene, and
Yeah.
whoever the next one is, I'm going to see as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you telling people today?
So
what to do
today,
for the
honestly,
next
today
going forward?
is me telling people, like, I got off the phone with a woman right before I got here. Today is where I'm still helping people with, oh my
Helene.
gosh.
Helene?
I was going to say Francine. No, that's not right. Helene. So I was still helping people with Helene here. And the big thing I'm telling people, there's really 3 things as far as pass goes. I tell people, first things first, contact, most states have 211. 211 is like your information hub for disasters and really, anything you need from that like social services standpoint. So they're the ones that are going to know distribution sites, who has services on the ground.
Okay,
so contact
call
them.
211,
Call
everybody
211.
out there.
And then also, if anybody needs help with their home, crisis cleanup. So Crisis Cleanup is an organization that really is like the database for all of the homes that need assistance. So if they put their home in crisis cleanup, then the organizations that do the mucking and gutting and do all of those services for cleanup, they use Crisis Cleanup as a database. So they go through them. So the more people in Crisis Cleanup, the better, because that means the more organizations are going to come here to help. And then the second one, if you're in need of FEMA assistance, I tell everybody about, it used to be called St. Bernard Project, but now it's sbpusa.org. They actually have a free service where they help people with their FEMA application. So I love that because it at least, the last thing you want to do after you've lost your home and everything you have is fill out an application that's going to tell you how much all that stuff is worth. You just can't do it. Mentally, you can't do it. Emotionally, you can't do it. So to have that organization, to me, again, SBP, like St. Bernard Project, USA.org, they actually help with that part, and I think that's great because they're a nonprofit, and all of these are free services.
Right.
So my whole goal, again, is to kind of funnel those services in that are really going to help people, put them together, and then, let them recover as best they can.
All right, so I know my wife here, Teresa, has a question. And we
Hello.
already told the story about how we met and how Teresa came to me and told me about you. But I was going to ask, but you best, being in the industry, like you would know best how to ask it. So.
Yes, I'm Teresa with the Florida Division of Emergency Management. We love Heather and her nonprofit organization. Question for you. I know we're currently still dealing with recovery.
Yeah.
With Hurricane Helene.
Mm-hmm.
Now this new storm's coming in. There's a lot of flood warnings and advisories. What could citizens do? What could you do? How can they reach out if they need help when they're already dealing with recovery efforts from the flood, if they have more of that?
Yeah. That is such
can you help with cleanup? I mean, what services can you offer the citizens?
Yeah. So that one, and that's a great question. As far as cleanup goes, I mean, I put a lot of people to crisis cleanup, and again,
Cleanup.
Also locally here, there's, do you know Matt Tuggle?
Yes.
He's with One
Yeah.
Mission. He's fantastic. I just gave his information out this morning.
Yeah.
He's just a great human, so I tell people about him as well. But really, everyone's totally different. They reach out to me for whatever situation. The biggest thing people can do, I am a funnel for information.
Okay.
I don't provide it. So you're not going to hear any weather updates from me. You're not going to hear any of that stuff from me. I'm going to tell you where to look.
Okay,
Just
so
like
they
you
could
said
call
before,
you
Mike's
and then
weather
you hook 'em
page.
up with
They
Matt.
can. Yeah, they
Okay.
can absolutely. And even there, that's where you download the app. Post it in the app. It's like you post a question in the app. It's like throwing the Batman light up in the sky. I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to respond to it. That's the easiest way, I think,
Yeah.
to do it. Most people right now, they're sending me questions like through my contact form on the website. That's fine too. I'll get it. And I'll call. The biggest thing too with me is I actually call. I care. So I don't care if, and again, my calls this week have,
Yeah.
90% of them have been Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee.
Yeah, so
you know,
sad.
but no matter what, I'm not there. But again, the point with the app is I can still help.
Right.
Because I can still find those resources, post them on the app.
Which
and
is
not
a
only
hard thing for citizens. They don't know where to go.
100%. So that's
and there's
that's
so
my whole
many
goal.
out there, so many resources out there. So if they call you and they reach out to you to say, okay, this is my issue,
Yes.
what can you help me with? You can give them that information.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it seems like the resources are scattered. Like, so it's like if I need this, you have to go here. If I need this, I have to go here. Whereas with yours, if you go to your one app, here's my situation.
Yeah.
Put me in the directions.
And
Is that possible?
You know, it's really cool how it works. And I'll give you one story, and I'll really sum it up because it was like a long story this week. But a woman reached out to me from Emmanuel County in Georgia. See, it's this city called Medville. They have a campground. She needed to find a generator. She has 100 people that need this generator so she can get the water pump working. Okay, great. So she reaches out to me. She's trying to find resources. Michelle, I've talked to her every day. And so she reaches out to me. She tries to find information. Ironically, just how things work, a woman reached out to me the next day from Emmanuel County that is like the 211 of their county, right? So she has all these resources, and I'm like, oh, this is just wicked cool. So then I get to call Michelle back. I'm like, man, I got a resource for you, you know, and I can actually put her with the woman in the organization that has all of those resources. So that's my goal. My goal is, and my husband, we went to this conference, and they said, explain yourself in one word. And the word he described me with was connector. Like, that's what I like to do. I've always done that. Even when I was, you know, I had my own business. I didn't have 2 pennies to put together, but I put a Christmas collection of $10,000 plus in gifts because it was who I knew. You know, I just said, hey, I found people in need and found people that could fill those needs and did it. Even back then, I was doing local relief. It just wasn't called local relief. But it works.
Right.
Where
Right.
you find people that have needs and you find people that have
The ability,
solutions
the ability
and
to
you
help.
merge
Yeah.
them together. Exactly. And local relief does that on a really big scale. You know, so
Awesome.
that's really the whole point. Absolutely. And
Yeah,
thank you.
so again, for people that are walking by, we're speaking with Heather Hackett, who is the founder of Local Relief, Inc., and she has a phenomenal app that actually puts people together directly. Like, so rather than having to go ahead and, you know, ask different questions and trust on social media and, you know, for where to go, and actually going to localrelief.com, you can download the app, and any questions you have, any needs you have, as it like generators, or where do I go for food, or relief maybe on rent, or I would imagine just pretty much anything having to
But
do
even
with
that,
right?
yeah, I can tell you exactly who's going to help, is my point. So
Right.
if you were to say rent,
Or at
I'd
least
say,
put in the right
oh,
direction,
211,
right?
that's United Way. That can help with that.
There we go.
It's
Yeah.
that type of stuff. Yeah, and it's
Perfect.
just information, again, you don't know you need until you need it.
And everybody who's listening that now knows about this, like I just learned, get the word out. I think is important that people, because we got another storm coming. I just looked; it's getting worse. And yeah, I think as many people as we can get to use that app, you know,
The more
that's
that,
going to be
exactly, the more
let's
people you
get the
have, the
word
more
out.
information you have.
Yeah,
Perfect.
awesome.
Yeah. So we're going to do our best to go and continue to promote. You're part of the web. I Love Downtown Sarasota. It's a group, not a page. If you're not already a member, please join.
Yes.
Are you part of that already?
Oh
Did you
yeah,
join?
I was
Oh,
before when I
awesome.
met Teresa.
Oh, okay,
I,
awesome,
Yeah,
great.
as soon as
Please
I
post.
yeah, as soon as I
Post
met
about-
her.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I will post.
You'll post. I'll post
Everywhere.
my own. And I just think it's essential that people get this app. Like
Yes.
you have
That's
to.
a great yes. I
You know,
like that. I'm
because
gonna,
it's like after something happens and it's almost, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Well, if you would have downloaded this app,
yes.
you would have known what to do, and if you didn't know what to do, somebody's right there to help you figure it out. So it's kind of almost irresponsible not to get this app.
Yes.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
I
going to
don't
quote
mean
you
to, like-
on all this stuff. You're
No.
going to be all over my
Not
website.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can, and you're going to have
Yeah.
audio taped all this, so you can just
Perfect.
take
Right.
snippets if you
Oh,
like.
great.
But I think it's if you are moving forward, if you know, it's almost like what the Good Samaritan Act. You know, like if you see somebody that's in trouble, it's your responsibility to help them, and you're breaking the law if you don't. I think if you know this app is available, and
Yeah.
now we go into a time when there's a storm and you get hit and like, oh my God, we got hit again. It's kind of your own fault. Like I don't mean to be insensitive, but you knew about this resource, so it's important to get it out there.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
yeah,
think,
100%.
right?
And it really is. I can't stress enough. It's done for the right reasons. Like it. It's 100% nonprofit. I don't own it.
Right.
I don't want anyone. My biggest thing was I don't want to sell it. I don't want anyone else to either. Nobody's information is for sale. Nobody can get access to the back end. I mean, even the logo, it's that handshake because that's how you pick someone up. To say I've thought about this is an
Yeah,
understatement.
it seems like put a couple
Like-
thought cells through this.
Yeah.
Very
All right,
cool.
so I'm going to come at you at a totally different. My ADD's going to come at you at a totally different angle. So, and Raphael, this includes
Oh,
you, Raphael.
Oh,
This includes you.
he's talking to my husband.
Bachelor auction.
So last year we had a bachelor auction, and
Uh-oh.
it was at McCurdy's Comedy Club. It was a deal, like it was a well publicized, well attended, and the whole thing. And it goes to different charities. The whole gist of this is a charity kind of handles a bachelor. A bachelor has to represent a charity.
Okay.
And then they go through around town, and we'll go to Duval's and get a $100 gift certificate. You go to some places, you build up a package worth of different things that somebody can do, worth, let's say, $2,000. That's easy to do in this
Okay.
town. And then at McCurdy's, go up and then people bid on the bachelor, but what they're really doing is bidding on this package.
I love it.
And all the money
It's the prizes.
goes to the non-for-profit.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So this
So-
man gets $5,000 because look at him. I mean, just look at him. So
I totally get it.
that it would go directly to your charity.
You're going to be the charity.
Oh,
would
really?
you
Choice,
you
yes.
be open to
You're
that?
okay with that?
Hey, of course.
So, but the thing is, you have to be kind of the handler.
You're the hand.
In other words,
yeah,
you have to. Well, I don't know. I did it last year. I was the bachelor.
Yeah.
And the non-for-profit was my non-for-profit that I'm a member of.
Okay.
But the gal who runs my non-for-profit, Kristen, was my handler. And I think she didn't have to do a ton. You just got to be a little bit involved. And you got to be there the day of the event.
yeah.
Okay.
I know.
To collect the money, basically.
and
Yeah.
it's a big thing.
And to
I
make
mean,
sure that
and
person
it's
who bids on
publicized.
them. Oh, it's everywhere.
And people attend
There-
like
So
hundreds
So then
of
are
people.
you my bachelor?
He's
So
a
that
then
bachelor.
he would be
Yep.
the bachelor.
Oh, I love
And
I take it.
and Raphael's a good friend of ours. He's a really, really nice guy and pretty
That's
known
awesome.
in Sarasota and
He's getting
downtown.
around.
Yeah.
So people would
He's gotten
come.
around.
He's been around the block a couple of times.
Uh-oh.
But if you're interested
better
in
not
doing
get a
that,
discount.
Yeah.
Discounted
So
version.
if you're
Okay.
interested, you could
we'll
be.
get you offline information about that.
Yeah,
Myself
absolutely.
and a lady who runs the Bazaar at Apricot and Lime, Kim Livingood. We actually were the
Yeah, I know
MCs of
Kim.
the event.
Yep.
So we actually get up on stage and just do our thing and just get all
Yeah.
nutty.
Kim's great.
And she's awesome.
She's great. Yeah.
And so like he'll step out, he'll like sashay. I'll talk about the prizes that people will bid
And he
on.
dance.
He'll walk around, maybe do a couple lap dances on somebody. It's clothing optional.
Oh boy.
But then at the end, but then people bid. They bid and bring it up, and we try to jack the bid up and get the most money we can, and it goes to you.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for including me.
No,
Thank
that'd be
you.
cool.
that-
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Heather Hackett. Has the app Local Relief on localrelief.com.
So
You have to download it moving forward, like
Yes.
knowing what's happening.
Yes, it's
Everybody
essential.
needs
It's
to do
essential.
that.
It's
It's irresponsible
it's
not to have
irresponsible
that app.
not to.
I love it.
It's irresponsible
Love it.
not to have the app.
because now you know.
Local Relief App Store.
Yes.
I just uploaded it, and
I will do
you
the
can also
same.
get it or downloaded it, I guess. And localrelief.com is the website. You can get it off there as well.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you
Great.
so much
Thank
for being
you,
on.
guys.
Great
Thank you.
organization.
Thank you. Hang on, I gotta get my dog off
Thank
my
you.
lap here.
That was awesome.
Well, we went.
So
Okay, so
much.
now we're going to flip it back to us.
Okay.
Because I don't know why people want to see us
probably
at all.
break the
but
camera now.
Here we go. All right, come back at us. All right, get close like you like me.
All right.
All right. So
Very
that's
good.
awesome. See, now this is exactly what I wanted this show to be like, because now, and next we're going to have Liz Alpert come on and have a different perspective,
And-
on things moving forward.
Well,
you know?
what's going on with what happened, a week ago,
Yeah, see,
and what's
wha-
going forward. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I do follow a couple people on Facebook.
Yeah.
Mike's Weather page and Dennis Phillips.
Dennis
and
Phillips, yeah.
It went from
Now
20% chance, 30% chance. Now it's 70 and 90.
Yeah, and then-
as it gets closer, it's getting kind of
And they're
worse.
saying
So
Cat
now
1 maybe?
everybody should get going on
They're
this
looking
app.
at like Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes, Wednesday, Thursday. So we have plenty of time, right? 3-4 days to prepare.
get the app. Irresponsible. You got time. You got 4 days to get this app.
Irresponsible if you don't have the app.
Right.
Thank
so.
you. Absolutely.
Yes.
No,
Well,
absolutely.
thank
So
you for
that's
being
fantastic.
here.
All right, so we're going to go and we're going to take a break.
Yep.
We're going to get a juice or something,
And we did not
stick some ice in the cold plunge.
Yeah.
Because we're building up to the cold plunge time.
Okay.
And we'll be back in 2 and 2.
Okay.
Right.
Remember the 3 words.
Oh no! Hey, we forgot to go
I
ahead
know.
and.
Did you want to do that?
I'll do
with
that
her?
right now. We're gonna flip this back around.
Put it back on your.
We always ask a question.
Oh,
Hot,
boy.
he calls it. We call it the hot seat.
It's a
really
hot
not that
seat.
hot.
It's not hot.
Uh-oh.
The seat's not
Oh,
hot.
you're
And
pointing
she's
the
not in the
camera. Now it's
industry.
legit. Now
She's
it's
not
like
in
a
the
really big
industry,
question.
so it's okay. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You do it.
Go ahead. You,
Okay, want me to do? Okay. So, 2 favorite restaurants downtown in the order of favorite.
Leela, Green Zebra.
Oh,
Wow, that was
didn't take
quick.
long.
That didn't take long at all. Very decisive.
good.
That's our
And
2.
great-
No,
great
those
choices.
are good.
Those are our 2 go-to. Yep.
All right.
All right.
Oh,
All
that
right,
was easy.
that
That
wraps
was
it up.
That's it.
That's the end of
Oh.
our show.
All right. So
I
now
was
we're
a
back
little
over
nervous.
here.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right,
We're going to
yes.
go take 2 and 2. And everybody,
Make
good choices, everybody.
All right, we'll
Make
be
good
back.
choices. Especially you.
Especially you.
You.
Make good choices.
And that is a statue right there.
Yes.
So tip it.
Tip
the statue.
Statues need to eat too.
Statues need to be earn a living.
All right. See you.
All
in
right,
a
see
bit.
you
Thank you
later.
again. Thank
Of
you,
course.
thank you,
That
thank
was
you.
a lot of fun.